All right, everybody, welcome back. Day number 19. 5-minute leadership videos, hashtag 2424 with yours truly, Staff Sergeant Lloyd Justin. And I'm excited to be with you all. Listen, we are really close to the end of this, and I just am so excited for each of you who's been a part of this journey, who's been liking and sharing the page. Thank you so very much. And I really hope you found some value in this and that the people who you're sharing this with are finding value, and that together we're going to impact the community. So let's just jump right into it. Today I want to talk to you about teams. Now, we have talked a lot about self-leadership during these 24 days. We've talked a lot about the importance of knowing your vision and developing yourself and moving into a quadrant 2 mindset of building relationships and having vision and understanding obstacles and overcoming distractions and disappointments and setbacks, and even just identifying the things that try to steal our time. So we've discussed a lot. But what we haven't spent a lot of time with is teams. And I'm not going to spend too much time, but today I just want to talk to you about, it's just an extremely important aspect of your development as a leader. See, ultimately leaders, whether you define them as influencing, where you define it as moving somebody from point A to point B, you have to have somebody who you're leading, and usually that's what you call your team. The team is super crucial because they are what allows your vision to be manifested. See, ultimately, no matter how gifted, talented, called to purpose you are, you can't do everything. You might be a really good speaker, but suck at making appointments. So you'll never get in front of the crowd when you're supposed to, or have follow-up appointments because you absolutely suck at that area of making sure those appointments are made. So you need a teammate who can cover down on that area. You may be supremely talented in making sure people are where they're supposed to be. When you greet them, it makes them just smile and light up. But God forbid that you're ever in front of a stage because you'll freeze up. That's just not your area. And so what we have to know is who is a part of our team. And so there's some really important things to take into consideration when you're building your team. One, you want to make sure that the people who you're building your team with are people who are engaged in what your vision is. Now understand, they may not see it exactly the way you see it, and they're going to be invested in you heavily because that's who they're following, but they still need to know where you're going and where you're trying to get the group to. And number two, you need to make sure that they know how their skills fit in with your vision. One of the most terrible things about being a teammate is trying to fit in, but you just can't find anywhere to fit. Imagine being a 7-foot center on a basketball team, but everybody the coach wants to play is 6'5" and below. Shooting guards, point guards, and small forwards. You would feel like you were not able to do any contribution. You know, in theory, you should be good at basketball and able to play and get on the court, but because of the dynamics of that team, there's no role for you. So you would become immediately frustrated. So in the same way, somebody who's supremely talented but doesn't feel like they have any role in your vision, they're not going to want to be a part of your team. Now, oftentimes we talk about leadership from the self first, and then the family, and then the community, and on from there. So obviously your team, when it comes to self, doesn't really work because it's just you. But when it comes to your family, it's important that every member of your family know that they are a valued part of your team. If you're married, your spouse should know they're a valued part of the team, that their contributions help, that their opinion matters, that they can come and share. And that goes to number 3, the culture that you want to create with your team. The culture is what's going to set the stage for how everybody who joins your team acts. It is the not written down rules, but the unspoken rules that guide behavior and attitudes and what's acceptable in your environment. So if my culture is one of timeliness, we start everything 10 minutes early. Then when a new person shows up, the team is going to, hey, listen, I know you're new, but understand that that's not how we do it here. And I'm not sure where you came from, but just know you show up again late like that, he's going to have something to say about it. So the culture does the training of the new people for you. It could be timeliness. It could be uniform. It could be the way everybody wears or walks or gear that they carry. Who knows? But it's the culture that sets that. So you want to make sure that you have a good culture. And finally, you want to make sure that you take time to build your team. Right? And this is why quadrant 2 living is so important. I can take time to invest in knowing the strengths and weaknesses of each of my teammates. I can take time to invest in knowing and making sure that every single part of my team is working at the highest level. I can invest and know when my team's off kilter, so I know what needs to be tweaked or what needs to be fixed or who needs some time off or who's overburdened, so I can shift some of the load around. All right, that was a lot. It's 5 minutes though. Hashtag 24 and 24. And I hope to see y'all next time. Be blessed.